All right, so we're gonna dive in here and just start the transition from our workday to our break for ourselves with a nice deep breath. So inhaling, taking that deep, deep breath, and then exhaling. This time, as you inhale, you're gonna just think of something positive. It could be a part of yourself that you like, the fact that it's sunny outside, anything positive, anything positive. And then on the exhale, we're going to release, let go of, exhale something negative. Could just be like, inhale, it's sunny outside. Exhale, caring about how many emails are in my inbox right now. Whatever it is for you that you would like to let go of. So we're going to dive in. Inhale, in, exhale. When you exhale, exhale completely, letting all that go. All right, we're going to dive into the movement break now with a little bit of a cat-cow. We're going to borrow from yoga. So this is where we're either going to have hands on a table or your knees, or if you prefer, you could do this on the floor, on your hands and knees. Absolutely. And as I inhale, we're just going to keep that good breath going. As I inhale, I'm going to arch through my back. And as I exhale, I'm going to tuck my chin and round through my spine. And you're going to go back and forth between these two movements following your breath. So it's going to be at a pace that is relevant for you, whatever your breathing looks like, no judgment on that. All breaths are keeping us alive and are valuable. As I do this, I really like to think about the counter stretch. So when I'm rounding, getting the counter stretch for my lower back, tucking my tailbone under so that I get a little break from the ways I've been sitting and arching my lower back all day. And then when I'm arching in this position where I'm taking my inhale, I want to think about expanding my chest. So having my chest be the widest it possibly can be here. Pushing the back of my head back in space. So back in space rather than flopping the back of my head onto my upper back there. Beautiful. So we're getting a good bit of movement variety here for our spine. And now, while we're still here in this supported position, get a little bit of a lateral bend going on. So when I say a lateral bend, that means a bend sideways to the left and to the right. And in this cat-cow position from the front, it might look like this. So my right hip bone is going back in space, my right shoulder is coming forward in space, so my right side is longer, and my left shoulder and hip bone are getting closer to each other. And whenever I'm ready, I can switch sides, getting the other side bend in. Now, one of the perks of doing side bending this way is we're supported and a lot more stable than if I were to do it this way and then need my own muscles to be supporting me. There's absolutely a place for both, but right now we're keeping it really nice and gentle. When you have been sitting for a really long time and you're getting your first wiggle break in after a long while, you of course want to approach your body a little bit gently so that your body has enough time to give you the feedback and be like, no, 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 we're not doing that today. Or yes, that's absolutely fine to do today. Now, we've done this forward and back motion. We've done a little bit side to side. Um, that now as you do this side to side, I want you to think about including your head. So just in case you haven't already, include your head and neck in the side to side bending. Lovely. One more each side. Beautiful. And now what we're going to do is we're going to include a twist. It's going to be supported, so my hands are on the desk, my floor, if I'm on hands and knees, or my knees. And as I do this, I'm thinking of the best way to do this. I'm going to twist just by reaching up towards the ceiling. So once I'm reaching up towards the ceiling, I'm going to wave at the ceiling My hand waving is just my hand going like this. So I'm reaching up and getting a little extra sensation through my arm here as I switch the angles. Friendly reminder to mute yourselves. Beautiful. Bring my left hand back down, do the other side. I'll do this at a different angle for you, so hopefully you can still see. But I'm bringing my right shoulder as close to stacked on top of my left shoulder as possible, so as close as I can get to the vertical, which will hopefully get me a really lovely twist here. And then I'm doing that waving. So if you can see my hand, it would look like that. Just to get some additional angles. Beautiful. And now we're going to do the same thing again, another repetition on each side. And I'm going to reach up with my left arm, but this time I'm going to see if I can reach even a little bit higher, a little closer to that straight perfection that I'm imagining. I can't do it while I keep my left leg on the floor, but that's the goal. So playing here for a moment, seeing if you can bring your hand back in space or up a little closer to the ceiling. Lovely. And whenever you're ready, we'll switch sides. So reaching up towards the ceiling with the right hand again. Seeing if I can get just a little closer to straight up and down through my two arms here. And while I'm challenging my body to do that, I'm still being really respectful of my body. If it doesn't want to, if it's not safe for my body, there is no law that I need to do that. And in fact, it would be detrimental to ignore those cues. Next thing we're going to do is just stand up nice and tall, imagining that somebody has one of the hairs of your head. They're pulling you up a little taller and longer. And I'm going to do a couple of shoulder rolls. We are supporting ourselves on our hands. Sometimes that can make the shoulders a little bit tense. A few shoulder rolls can say, hey, it's all good, we're going to move you too. So what I'm going to do first is take my right hand, bring it across my body, get a nice stretch through the outside of my shoulder. I'm pulling my right arm into that stretch just a hair further using my left hand. And if you prefer, you can do it this way. And then once I settle in here, I'm going to find some really glorious angles by moving my hand up a little bit, down a little bit, moving my shoulder up a little bit, and my shoulder down a little bit. Finding those spots that feel just really impeccable today to me. Lovely. And whenever you're ready, you can do another shoulder roll and just switch sides. So now my left arm is going across. My right hand is helping me into the stretch. My left hand is experimenting by going a little higher, a little lower, playing with the shoulder as well. And if you feel inspired to keep breathing deeply here, follow that intuition. That is fabulous. If you are not inspired to think about your breathing, that is totally fine. Your brain is only doing one thing at a time. That is normal for human brains. All right, we're going to keep the shoulder games going here. I'm going to reach up towards the ceiling with my right hand, bend at the elbow to reach down my back, and then I'm just going to help myself into the stretch using my left hand. So I should be feeling a lovely stretch through this side of my body here. Check in with yourself, see if you can drop your right shoulder away from your right ear just a hair further. And whenever you're ready, you could switch sides. So now I'm reaching down my back with my left hand. My right hand is helping me into the stretch. Checking in with that left shoulder and dropping it away from that left ear. Just a little bit further. Lovely. And come on out of that position whenever you're ready. Instead of doing shoulder rolls this time, we're going to do gigantic arm circles just to shake out whatever was building up as we hung out in one position at the end of a range of motion. Now I'm going to take my hands and I'm either going to clasp them behind my back and draw knuckles down, or I might just put my hands at my hips and draw my elbows back in space behind me. But what I want ultimately is an open chest position. So if neither of those work for you and you have a different modification that works for you better, totally fine. I often do the hands clasped behind back as demos. So today I'm just going to demo the hands on hips version. But we're going to do some neck stretches just to give our necks a little treat. Starting off looking over the left shoulder and then the right shoulder. Going back and forth at your own pace. If it feels really good, you can hang out in a spot for a moment, but aim to give both sides even love, right? Don't neglect one of your favorite children. Beautiful. And then whenever you're ready, you can switch to dropping left ear to left shoulder, and then right ear to right shoulder. Taking a moment to think about how your head works really hard all day long to hold up your bowling ball of a head, and how these muscles need attention and care too. Now, I did it without telling you guys to do it, but while my left ear was close to my left shoulder, I did a little rock where the back of my head drops down towards the floor a little bit more, and then I roll forward and my nose drops towards the floor a little more. If it feels good, you could take some different angles here and then give that same love to the other side. Beautiful. The next thing that we're going to do is just a little bit of nodding. So, oops, I forgot my elbows. So I'm going to draw my elbows back in space a little more, make sure that my chest is open still. And then I'm going to drop my chin towards my chest. And then I'm going to reach my chin up towards the ceiling. Sometimes it can get a little tense with balance for people. So if it helps you, you could absolutely have a hand on something solid for this piece. Reaching chin up towards the ceiling and tucking your chin and really letting the back of your neck have some space because there is a little arch to the back of our neck. I can show you on my body here is there can be a little arch in our neck here. And if we allow the chin to tuck, we get a counter stretch for the back of our neck. And that arch actually gets worse if I slouch and then I have to hold my head up at this angle. That's pretty intense on your neck. So taking the counter stretch. Beautiful. And now we're going to end in the last minute, just scanning through your whole body, finding one body part that you would really like to stretch today and going for it. Any stretch that you want, any body part that you want, it just needs to be tailored to you and what you want for yourself today. I'll be doing hands for mine. You have 1 minute to just go for it and enjoy it and savor the heck out of it. Now I'm doing my hands, and right now I'm stretching sort of this underside of my hand and forearm, the palm and forearm. I'm also going to take a little counter stretch for that. Because I always feel a little bit more comfortable in my hands and wrists when I do more than one angle. Beautiful. That's our time for today. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope you have an excellent afternoon. Take care, everyone.